Welcome back to the Football Terrace. Man United 3, Newcastle 1. A really poor performance for large parts of the game from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's men, still in this really barren run of form that shows that there's been a fair level of inconsistency, there's no doubt. But picking up points at this time of the season is the most important element. Back to second in the table. We've seen, of course, Liverpool and Chelsea in the top 4 race drop points this weekend. So job done, 49 points for Manchester United, and only marginally behind now the best performance post-Fergie in the league for this club. Great goal from Marcus Rashford to get us on the way, but more shoddy defending. Terrible clearance of a header from Harry Maguire. Static defending. So Maximum puts Newcastle back level. And then again, a really poor start to that second half, which just saw Man United really tread water for large parts of the game. And then the first real good bit of intricate play, team play around the edge of the box. A Man United player in Nemanja Matic actually having the kind of guile and confidence to take a man on. It led to the opening. A wonderful piece of vision and trickery and imagination from Bruno to flick the ball on to Dan James, almost identical to what he did for Marcus Rashford's goal against Leicester City on Boxing Day. It's not the first time he'd done that this season. And Dan James, really happy for the young man to put Manchester United in front. And then Rashi wins Man United a penalty, Stonewaller. Bruno puts it away and seals all 3 points. But there's a lot to unpack tonight. A lot of criticism for Anthony Martial. A lot of criticism for the Manchester United system by many Man United fans online. We're going to open up the lines to let you come on and have your say tonight as well. We're going to get the panel on very soon, literally within the next minute or so. Get this video past a couple of 100 likes before we do that. I want to go to your comments first of all, though, to see what you're saying. I'm sure there's going to be some salt. First one, though, is from Who Knows, says Dan James, man of the match. Do you know what? I don't think it'd be bad to give it to him. I think I wouldn't say that's a bad thing at all. 10 points behind City is what Frank Goat Lampard says. Yeah, we're 10 points behind City, but we're still in front of teams that were much better than us last year. Like we're well in front of teams that we were on par with last year, and we're well in front of the greatest champions ever. Like we're in an okay situation. We could be doing better. There's still work to get done. I'm sure the boys are going to go through that in a few moments. Blue Manic here says, mind the gap. I hear you on that one. Wasn't Maguire's fault. 80% Fred is at fault. Oh, listen, Maguire's not solely to blame for the goal we conceded. It's a poor header, but why are his teammates standing still, static, not being proactive in that approach? It's a collective. Frank here says, Bruno Fernandes. Yep, definitely a penalty that set up the first goal. Boring, dead game. Listen, for me, no Man United game is ever boring because I'm under so much pressure and stress for us to win. But if you find that boring, fair enough indeed. Who's next on it? Oh, Fred the Mank. Okay, your blocks. Every stream we get a guy saying Munich. What a freak. That is proper like small dick mentality, isn't it? Like proper small penis, very microscopic penis. Like the pubes are bigger than the shaft, you know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Let's do a few more comments here. Frank Lampard got sacked. That's a Mark. What do you mean? Maybe I'm missing something. Bruno disappeared today. Didn't have a great game. I wouldn't say this is one that Bruno Fernandes is going to relish and remember, but 2 more goal contributions, and his touch to Dan James for the goal to put Man United in front was inspired and visionary. Man United's play wasn't good enough, but there we go. We're going to get the panel on now, though, to have their say, to tell you what they think. We've got Danny, we've got KJ, we've got Cams, we've got Bits and Bob in the house. We've got Man Like Lincoln as well. We're going to get on. We're going to share the link for you to phone up and have your say as well. We're going to rotate the panel a little bit tonight throughout the course of this. Let's see what the people are saying. Welcome, gents. 3 points. Victory. What are we saying? KJ.
We got there in the end, didn't it? We got what we needed, which is 3 points. And yeah, it wasn't the greatest performance. A lot of things to look over again. Set pieces again. Shocking to concede as many set pieces this season as we have this season. Something needs to get looked at. The midfield in the first half of Fred. Me and Danny will probably chat about Fred in a moment, innit? But today Fred is showing that he is a player for a specific kind of game in specific instances, and if it's not that, don't play him right now. But you know what? Big up to Dan James. Dan James, we questioned his if he was starting, questioned why he's playing. It's against the low block. I said during the match, if we're gonna play Dan James, use him. Otherwise, what's the point of being on the pitch? And it wasn't a slight at Dan James. He wasn't trying to say that he's terrible. I was trying to say he's on the pitch. Let's use him more. Let's go on the right hand side. And when we started doing that, we started to see more threats. The switch over to him from Matic while playing Bruno with a nice little touch. I didn't see if he touched it or not, but hey, we moved, good goal, and then the ball started to get more to him, and he started to be more threatening, running at players, trying to cross the ball in, trying to make something happen. So, yeah, for me, Dan James man of match, and this is what I like to see from Dan James. He's trying, he's doing his best, and when he's in, if it's gonna be in the game, let's bring him in. Stop shunning away from him like we normally do, and just play down the left-hand side. Let's use him as an option because he's there for a reason. So big up Dan James and well done for your goal. I'm happy for you, my brother. And also shout out man like Shola, our little kid, yeah, my son, innit? Let's go, innit? Let's go.
Danny, what did you? Well, I know we got the performance. We know it wasn't scintillating. It wasn't Man United at their absolute best. Do you think there's an overreaction on social media? We scored the second and third goal, and I actually saw Man United fans become more negative when we won than if we would have been defeated. What's going on with the Man United fan base? Is it echoing the poor performances, or what's happening?
Ole Outters are Ole Outters. The only thing that's going to convince them not to be Ole Outters is Pep Guardiola's style of football and us winning the league. Those were the goal. That's where the goalposts have been moved to. I've said this before. At the start of the season, they all said we had a crap window. They don't rate Maguire. They don't rate Lindelof. They think Rashford has no IQ. Have you noticed they don't defend Fred anymore? Anyone notice how Ole Outters don't defend Fred? Like,
yeah,
where the Man United fans who love Fred on Twitter?
He's getting a lot of smoke, and he deserves it too.
I joined Twitter in like February of 2020. They were everywhere. Where have you guys gone? You've disappeared. So that's all it is, Terry. It's just the Ole Outters when the going gets tough, because the brand of football and the fluidity and the performance level isn't there. Everything just deflects to Ole. And I just want to explain something to people watching, right? Because I keep seeing this pattern of play thing on Twitter over and over and over again. A pattern of play is literally just a sequence of passes completed. A pattern of play is not a sequence of passes that result in penetration or good chance or a goal. That's not a pattern of play. It's just a sequence of passes. So when I say to people, do not talk to me about tactics when Fred can't make a basic pass. How can Fred do that assist against Real Sociedad for Rashford 1 week, and the following week he can't make a basic forward pass or a sideways pass? Aaron Wan-Bissaka, rabbit in headlights, put him under pressure. There was a moment where he just booted the ball at Daniel James's head when he got pressed.
Yeah, I remember that. It's just like, bro, he's small, fam. He's small.
I get it. If you don't think we'll win a title with Ole, I get all of that stuff. I get it. But the reality is, last time I checked, we're second in the league, 49 points. Good goal difference, 21. I'm looking at Sky Sports. That's what I'm looking at right now. If you told me at the start of the season, Terry, we'd be 6 points clear of Liverpool after 25 games. So of Chelsea, 9 points clear of Liverpool, 13 clear of Tottenham. Look at Arsenal in 10th. 15 points clear of Arsenal, and our destiny's in our own hands. I would have taken that, mate. Because
I hear you.
We all sat here and we weren't happy with the transfer window. We didn't think we were going to see progress. And
no, I hear you on that, Danny, and I think you make some good points. So listen, would I like to see us play a better style of football? Yes. But I'm sick and tired of hearing about systems when we have players in our team misplacing 2-yard passes. There's telling me these people, and I'm plagiarizing Danny here, and I tweeted it out. Some fans want to see us. They honestly believe we've got a squad full of ballers that could handle a more sophisticated play. We don't, and you've seen that. You remove Pogba, You remove Scott McTominay, you remove Cavani, you remove 3 or 4 players, and you start to see the more threadbare nature of this squad, if that makes sense. And that stood out massively to me today. Bits and bobs. What did you make of the performance today? Martial also getting a lot of stick online. Do you think it's fair?
I think the performance basically showed what happens when we take off, when we have no creative player. Obviously, everyone's going to shout at me and saying Bruno, but look, Pogba, left central midfield, he's the most creative player. Scott McTominay, the engine. People can at me if they want, but we know what contribution he plays. We won, Terry. It was a lackluster performance against a very poor team, to be honest, who seemed to try and scare us on the counter-attack. But I dare say our defenders were just probably better than their attackers. Regarding the second part of your question with Martial, I think the frustration with Martial is that everyone hears that he wants to play centre forward. Now, how do you shut up your critics? You score goals, you contribute, you do anything. I don't think he really done himself any favours today. I think he knew he was going to come off. Then there was like a little kick. He dropped the shoulder, beat a man. But we need that from the get-go. And I don't know if you guys know, in the first half, Daniel James had the ball. No one was in the box. Martial was like 20 yards away. And, we can say James, but if you've got nothing to hit, what do you do with the ball? Yeah. So I think, look, we've got to keep the same energy. If it was Cavani, we'd keep the same energy. And I'm glad that Ole was like, yeah, you're coming off. I think right now, Martial's second choice left winger, he's not first choice forward. People say, oh, you need to create, blah, blah, blah. Listen, if you're not getting the ball, go get it, okay? Or roll up your sleeves, ruffle up some centre-back, show me something, scream. You can say passion, but show me that you want to be involved. We don't see that from him, and he had to come off. Shout out Babyface Shola, Niger boy. You lot can have him if you want, but he's a Niger boy.
He's from Newcastle, bruv. He's a Geordie.
Listen. If anyone turns to you and says, my name is Shola, and they tell you from Newcastle, I'll shake your hand and just smile at you. Because I know where you're from. That's it. But no, Terry, look, 3 goals, 3 points, we move. We'll beat Sociedad, and then we got is it Chelsea? So yeah, man, look, it wasn't the best, but we won.
Chelsea, Man City next in the league.
What have the Ole Outters got to say now?
It's big. No, I hear you on that. I think, one thing that really stood out to me massively during that game, Greenwood comes on, and there was a play that we worked, the pattern of play, and we pushed the ball out to the right-hand side, and Dan James was there to cross it, and the cross got blocked. It actually nearly deflected in for a goal. We got a corner. And I saw it, and then straight away, Jermaine Genius, as part of BT Sports, said it. He went, did you see that run there, that really aggressive run from Greenwood to make sure that he was there for the cross? He said, you didn't see that once tonight from Martial. And I don't think it's laziness with Martial, like people accuse him. I don't think he reads the game like a natural number 9 to move himself into those areas. There was a time where we worked the same play. And this is the irony around we don't do the same thing more than once in a game. We did the same play, Dan James on the byline, and he ends up just whipping it in. Darlow in goal nearly spills it. But watch Martial. He isn't breaking his neck to get to that near post to tap it in. Cavani makes that run. Haaland makes that run. Greenwood makes that run. Mbappe makes that run. An elite level striker runs towards that near post and starts to run early so that when that ball's whipped in, he tips it. What you see from the unsophisticated football fan is, why is Dan James crossing it when no one's there? No, why players are trained and taught and drilled, and bits and bobs as a pro footballer, he knows this. You get to a position and then you put the ball into the right area. If somebody isn't there, that's on them. If a midfielder threads the ball into the right area and one of the runners doesn't make his run, that's not on the midfielder for playing the wrong pass. You have to do, when you're in a situation where what else are you going to do? Like Dan James got himself into a position where all he could do was move it. He cuts it back, everybody moans at him. And I want to see more from Martial. But the problem is, I don't think he has it. I don't think he has a natural instinct to be in that position and to be the player that we want him to be. And
so
he's not. And the experiment is done. The results are in. Martial is a good to very good inside forward. He is not a number 9. And you know the irony in it? I see so many of his fanboys now that I'm so sad to see him do badly. We need to move him back to his best position. And do you know what rattles me about it? is you were the same bellends for 2 years crying, Jose took his 9 away. Jose's moved him out wide. He was never a centre. He's okay at it. He can do it on occasions. Cavani has proven to us he's not a centre forward. Cavani runs on average 2 kilometres more than him per game. And again, the unsophisticated palate will say to you, oh, we don't want him pressing all the time. No, that's passion merchant stuff. No, the extra 2K comes from making runs to the far post, to the near post, pulling off to create space for the runners from deep. Martial doesn't do it, not because he's lazy, but because he doesn't have the instinct to do it. He's not a striker. Do you know what I wish? I wish that Javier Hernandez, when he played for Man United, had Martial's ability on the ball, because that boy had the movement, the guile, and the instinct to know where to go. I'm going to go to Cam next. Cam, what did you make of the performance? And does Martial just need to not play in that 9 role anymore?
It's kind of done. It's why I've been saying in a few years our number 9 will be a different player. Sticking with Kane, the performance was okay. Like, it was enough to win the game. I'm not going to come out in here and say we played a masterclass of a game. We sucked for most of the first half. If we're going to be honest, if it wasn't for Rashford's individual brilliance and great decision making, we would have had a really rough first half, if we're going to be honest. But that's why you have world-class players in your team, and we only really have 2, and 3 with Pogba. The no Pogba experience it's not fun. And I'm going to say with my chest, Alfie, stop saying you want Pogba gone, because, like, the no Pogba experience is just not fun for anybody anymore. You can just see it. So we're such a different team when you don't have him in it. And before, when we didn't have Bruno, it was even worse. Like, this was right. Like, think about, like, I can understand why this man was so frustrated, because, like, Danny's been on Fred for a while, and it's true. How can you go from one time making this beautiful pass to Rashford, and the next time you can't make a 2-yard pass? It's just, he's not that kind of player. He's not good enough for the squad. We are starting to see, as the games go on into the year, who's really not good enough for us, and what Ole has to deal with and work with. And this is what drives me nuts with all the free Donny, this or that. It's like, man, he's doing what he can with the players we have to work with our system. You put Donny in that team, and he can't do anything with those players, because there's no stick and move. There's no quick passes. There's nothing. Mm-hmm. So we're in a weird spot where I think we're good enough to, as long as we beat Chelsea, we'll finish second. But what's going on?
I just something clicked in my head today. Right? So we keep talking about there's no system. It's not drilled. Nobody's making off the ball runs. Cavani makes them whenever he's in the team. Bruno is consistently making them. That isn't something, yes, you do it in training, but it has to be something you naturally know how to do. Yes, you can be coached to say, okay, maybe you make this run too often. There's nuances. But Bruno and Cavani, Rashford, as examples, Pogba when he's on the pitch, they make those runs. Why? Because they're good enough. The reason that the Freds are static, Martial's are static in those positions they're in now, is because they're not good enough at the highest level. So what happens is it stands out. It's why when they play against lesser opposition, I had a good game today. Yeah, because they found their level. Sorry to like inject, but it stands out.
No, it's fine. I thought you were having a seizure. I was worried. I was scared.
It's not even lesser opposition per se. I feel like it's more when the game suits those players, you see it more now. As in, like, Fred, when it's a counter-attacking, all we want you to do is run around, tackle, or distribute to someone quick time. Excellent. Martial, when the space is behind, when you can just jog around and then 1 second just make a run because there's space to run into at striker, you see it. But when we're asking them, all right, now you need to do more, you need to be more proactive, we're starting to see that actually they can't be proactive, and that's the issue.
The difference, isn't it, between a Man United player and
Danny, I know what you're saying. Danny's been screaming this. Danny has been screaming this.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, for me, when I look at it, okay, we got told individual brilliance, blah, 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 but there was not really much individual brilliance tonight. And when I look at it, I think to myself, you're Tony Martial. You know, there's a song about you saying 50 million down the drain. I know you know this song. Now go out and shut people up. Go score me a hat-trick. Go score the goals. And when you come off, just look at Ole and be like, I dare you to drop me for the next game. Do you know what I mean? Change it up. If it means that you're not getting the ball on your feet, back your bum against our striker and be like, oi, plant the ball here. Mix it up. Give us something. But the reason why it's so easy, I see him done it now. He's just frustrating, bro.
I don't know what's happening.
If I'm centre midfield, I'm not passing you the ball. because I know you're not going to do anything. So that's why you see Bruno do this 360 because he goes round and he's like, I've got no option because if I go forward, he's not going to keep it. People say to me, he's good at holding up the ball. So fucking what? Yeah, so what? Hold the ball up.
Well, I didn't see that today.
Give me something else.
Not today. I don't know where it's gone.
You know what it is, Bobs? Do you know what it is? Me and KJ have been going back and forth for this for a while now. He's not very determined. He just isn't. He's just not a very determined player. And when you don't have a player who's determined, when the going gets tough and you have no confidence, what fundamentals can he rely on? I've said this before, sorry for repeating myself, but I keep saying this. Everything he wants to do is difficult, intricate, nice, finesse things, 1-2s, combos. You need to be confident to do that. I've been meaning to bring this up. When Wayne Rooney wasn't confident, you know what he used to do all the time just to get some rhythm in his game? Because he just had it as a fundamental talent.
Tackle and run.
Tackles in, get some run around,
other
press.
Other than fouling people and getting sent off, he dropped and hit a Hollywood pass 30 yards to the wing. On cue, every time. On his worst day, he could do that. Can Martial cross on his worst day? No. What can he do on his worst day? He doesn't even dribble because he needs confidence to dribble. So people telling me put him back on the left wing, he's got no confidence. He's not going to dribble at anybody.
You're on the bench, mate. The mentality, Danny. It's the mentality.
You said it. For me, he needs to be on the bench. Yeah. And unless he proves it coming off the bench as a super sub, he can't be starting games. I understand Ole trying to kickstart him because really, if we want to go places, Martial should be part of that journey, no?
I agree. And he should be taking it. He should be taking a note from what Dan James has done. Look at this. The kid got one game and he just stepped in.
But he has to go, like Greenwood has to start every game now. Like I don't want to see Greenwood
until Cavani's back. Yeah, Greenwood needs the time to develop as a centre forward. And you know what? He might save us some peas in the long run if we do this right now. Because Martial, as much as I love him as a player, he the way he's gone backwards, it's not like he stood still, because if he stood still, he'll be scoring 17 goals in the league. He's gone backwards. And at this moment in time, I'm like, Mason's got a bright future ahead of him, and he wants it. You can see it when he plays. Tony, you're not showing me anything. So right now, he needs a whole bench.
It's mentality, guys, and I'll just wrap it up on him because do you know what? We all know what people were saying about Luke Shaw. Another left back comes in. Who's badding up the set pieces? Who's running up and down? Who actually looks a bit trim and fit? Who's actually wanting to play? Competition and comfortable. Nothing good comes out of being comfortable. Okay, and it's all about mentality. You drown or you swim, and right now he's drowning. And we're right now, guys. Real talk.
You know why he's drowning? Because there's no shit.
People, bro.
I told you that.
You know what, Bobs? You triggered something. Can I ask you guys a question? Who are the best two crosses in the Man United team?
Crosses.
Luke Shaw. One.
Right now.
Tell us.
Yeah, and Bruno.
It's Bruno probably. Luke Shaw and Bruno.
Maybe PP.
And honestly, Dan James has a cross on him too. But he doesn't play enough.
Yeah.
But
Luke Shaw's a bit.
They don't want to hear that.
His crossing is average, though. Let's keep it real.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
He's playing the same position.
Luke
and
Shaw
Bruno
tell
is
us.
going to be in a position to cross. When I talk to people about the fundamental problems with this team, and they keep telling me systems, coaching, it's Ole. No. When you don't sign players consistently well for so long, and you will keep telling me we need a technical director because the team's not built for a brand of football, what do you expect? Like, we had a player on the pitch today in Matic. Who wants to see Matic as a Man United player next season?
No, thank you. No, thank you. Bro, you can get the oranges and the cups of teas for the boys.
And I totally agree with that. And I see people hypocrisizing themselves all day, every day. We've got a few super chats to do. We've got Kendall and Igal backstage. We're going to be getting on very, very soon. Ndombele season says, you lot played Jose football, but your manager smiles. I mean, listen, it's a good joke. We don't play as negatively as that. We do try to attack. We just need better players in our system. There's
better coaching. I want to talk about that in a bit.
Okay, and yeah, I mean, always better coaching. You always want the best coaches in the world. There's no doubt about it. Super chat here says, "Why are we consistently linked to strikers in the transfer market? I honestly believe Ole doesn't rate Martial. Well, he did try and sign Haaland, so we know that he wants Haaland and wanted Moussa Dembele. etc. in the past. He knows he ain't cutting it. But that's also one of the reasons, in my opinion, why so many of the Ole Outers, a lot of them tend to be Martial FC. One of their vehement reasons. You should see it tonight on the timeline. It's like eulogies about, oh, Martial, we have faith in you, brother. We'll know you turn. I'm like, bruv, if Rashford misses a chance, you literally want to slap his mum in the face, right? But yet Martial gets his free ride. Why? And one of the reasons they hate on Ole is because of their love for Martial, and they can see the writings on the wall, and they're in denial. So their view is, if we can make the manager look bad, we can help in any way to get rid of the manager. Maybe it extends Martial to number 9. And like I said before, I do care about Martial, and I care about all my players, but I care about Man United being successful. Martial turns up from next week onwards and turns into Kylian Mbappe, I'm the happiest man in the world. If he doesn't, and we sell him and somebody else comes in and delivers, I'm the happiest man in the world. It's as simple as that for me. Lincoln, just want you to have your say before we rotate the ball. Lincoln, in terms of the performance tonight, do you think people are being too negative with a 3-1 win, or is it worthwhile criticizing the performance?
To be honest, we just needed a win today. We needed a win at any cost. The start, we always start bad, so we'll just gloss over that. But then, yeah, we just needed a win, and the 3, you could have. If you asked me at the start of the game for a 3-1, I would have taken that. So that's what we got in it. Also, I just want to touch on Dan James for a bit before I go off. Is this the Dan James that we were supposed to see at the start of his Manchester United career? The Dan James that just comes to the XI, that comes to the starting 11 for a few games and then just does it, repays his faith for the manager. Imagine having Dan James repaying the manager's faith more than Martial. Like, that's
listen, I think to your question, Dan James was overplayed last season because we didn't bring in the entirety of the players that Ole needed. And I think that him being overplayed led to a lack in confidence for him. If we would have landed Bruno Fernandes like we wanted, and we would have got another right-sided attacker like Ole, or a striker like Ole wanted, Dan James would have probably got less used, 20 to 25 times less last season in terms of starting berths. He would have been bled in a lot more slow. Ole likes to bleed the youngsters in slowly, very reminiscent of that of his main coach in his career, Sir Alex Ferguson. So yeah, I see that, and I'm just really happy for Dan James. I don't know how much of a career he has remaining at Man United. I'm still being, to be honest.
Like next season, that should be his last season, personally.
It could be.
Look,
it was good.
Sorry. See, on that situation, we need to remember that there's going to be some games that he's going to be vital. Okay, and unfortunately, right now he's playing, and unfortunately for him, Ole didn't get his targets, and that's what our fan base forget. Ole did not get his actual initial targets, and what you've got to play what you've got. What I'll say to Daniel James, listen, he's doing his case no harm right now. 2-2, keep your head down and keep working. When you're called upon, do your job. That's it. Keep training. But also, if you really want to see it. An added segment on that, look out for that United Show podcast coming out tomorrow morning. That's where we'll say more about that.
I hear you on that. Lincoln, thank you very much for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really do appreciate it. We're going to bring in Kendall on now when I see her camera turn back on. Obviously, we're going to speak a bit about Newcastle as well. When I see her camera come on, she's coming on. But make sure you smash that like button right now, viewers. We really appreciate that. We've got a gal waiting backstage as well that we're going to be bringing in very, very soon. As soon as I see Kendall's camera, then I'll bring her in. She might just...
What does a goal want, man? What does he want?
No, you know what?
We'll bring a gal in because I know where Kendall's gone. Yeah, what you saying, gal? What you saying?
Listen, I'm not always here to banter you guys. I'm here to say, you know what? Manchester United, I don't get why you guys are so, critical of your team after so many wins. You guys just keep churning out wins after wins after wins. I'm starting to realize why. This is the reason why. I think this is my hypothesis. You guys look at Manchester City and you're like, you know what? There's not that big of a gap. It's just you need a couple more players, maybe 2 to 3 more players, and you guys could literally be up there winning the league. I genuinely believe Manchester United are closer to winning the league than they are to dropping out of the top 4. And you guys can see that as fans, and that's maybe why you're so critical. Because I have my own issues. Well, one second. I have my own issues with my club. I can see my issues with my club. When I only can see the issues at certain people's clubs when they start losing games. Liverpool, you can see it because they start losing games. Man City, when they're losing games, you can see it. Manchester United right now, you guys keep ticking away, keep winning, tick, 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 every single day. But you know what? When you start losing, maybe I'll see it. But right now, I genuinely believe no trolling, no banter. You guys are closer to City.
I understand where you're coming from. There's a super chat here I want to address this. People moan about performance. The other day, we performed well against Everton. What was the result? They are humans, not machines. People have off days. What I will say to that and defend Ollie and defend Man United is we performed brilliantly against Real Sociedad. And the Ole Outters just said, yeah, but they played into our hands and they were open. They made it easy for us. And that's the one issue with listening to the negative Nellies. Of course, rivals love listening to them, but they're never happy with anything we do. When we play well, it's down to luck or individual brilliance, or the team did what, the team did played into our hands. When we play poorly, it's because there's no system. The hypocrisy absolutely stinks, there's no doubt. Jason here says, what panel's views on David De Gea? Do you think he needs to command his area much better? What are you saying, Cam?
Okay. I've been on record saying that David De Gea was like my favorite player for so long, but it's just time to. It's really time now. I said before this game, and like everybody, this is what I like to, when everybody says, "Oh, you're this, that, you're all." No, I see the game. I call it as I see it. I can change my opinions. My opinion right now on David De Gea is it's time. I said before this game, when I was doing a preview, I don't know what else David De Gea can do wrong to get dropped. Like, it's got to be politics at this point. It's got to be the contract. It's got to be Ollie has said to Hendo, listen, I need you for the cups, and no manager plays their number one all three competitions anyway. So he's probably like, listen, we have to win an FA Cup or Europa League. Hendo, you got to play in those games. We're going to roll with David De Gea because at this point, there's nothing else. Like, he continues to be bad. Like today, I put that poll up on Twitter just so I could see what people's opinions were. A lot of the Maguire agenda FC where people were saying, oh, he should have cleared it better. I'm like, man, listen, he cleared it. If he cleared it out for a corner and they scored a goal, the goalpost would have moved and you would have said he should have cleared it into a different spot. So today, David De Gea, he doesn't control the box anymore. That man was hiding on his line for the entire first 20 minutes. He did not come out for a single ball. There's no fear. If I'm an attacker, I look at David De Gea and I'm just like, bruh, I'm taking your lunch. I'm taking your lunch money. Give me your food. I'm taking you out back and you're giving me everything you have. That's like, you're getting bullied. He's not it anymore.
Yo, Cam, it was the first minute of the game. Wasn't it the first few minutes?
Yeah, he's not it anymore.
Cross was in the air for an eternity and he just stood
there.
Hurts my soul to say it. It hurts me to say it.
He was shook to death to come off his line.
He's too scared.
You know what I think it is, Cam? You know what it is? We need to maintain his value. Because, let's keep it real. That contract is a problem.
We have to.
I agree.
It's time for Henderson. I made a tweet. I tweeted it out today. It's time for Henderson to get at least 10 games in a row just to see what the kid can do. We know what David De Gea is. We know what they is. I know you guys are questioning, but the run of games is too much. We never know until we find out. Imagine this year, we don't do these 10 games. We sell De Gea. Hendo's on number one, not getting a proper test, and then we see that he's not ready. We need to take the time.
I completely
to play
agree.
him.
I completely agree. I do think there's a business element of keeping his value up. The same reason that I don't think why Ollie will ever come out and honestly tell us the truth about Eric Bailly. I think Eric Bailly sometimes doesn't play in games we want him in because the doctors are saying he's red zoned. He's gonna flag. And the problem is, if you come out and say he can't play more than a game a week without being in the red zone, he's going to end. I know you guys are going off to film the podcast. Cheers, boys. If he's always in the red zone, you're not going to get much money from in the transfer market. It's as simple as that. We're going to bring Kendall on now to have her say first about a super chat that says Rashford really frustrates me, but I love his individual moments of brilliance. With laughing emoji. Sent that right back to the locker room. Do you know what's interesting about Rashford? I haven't finished my study yet, but we had very recently. I'm going to bring Kendall in now. We had very very recently we did like where people coming on saying, what does Rashford do outside of scoring? I hope people take to note the level of chances created and the amount of dribbles he's completing per game and additional crosses he's now putting in per game in the last 2 to 3 months has increased by nearly 60% on his past 2 seasons average. But I guess the people like eye test won't notice this because it doesn't suit the agenda. Ken,
Terry, your fans are spoiled with those comments.
I haven't seen the comments, but I just wanted to say, Kendall, welcome. You look thoroughly frustrated and annoyed, beaten 3-1 today. Give me your thoughts.
I don't even really know what to say. Like, to be honest, I'm surprised it was 3-1. Like, I'm going to be honest, because the couple of obviously days before I said it was going to be 2-0 to Man United, so I'm surprised we even scored. But a great goal from St. Maximin. Got a 60 minutes, and Jamal Lewis decided to be the worst footballer I've ever seen in my entire life. Emil Kraft nutmegged by Marcus Rashford, so there was that. Carl Darlow, I think my 3-year-old daughter could save more goals than Carl Darlow. Steve Bruce laughing and joking with Ollie post-game. Man United agent, just bet £5 on just to win. That's probably his attitude. I don't really know what to say, to be honest, about it. Peak, we're going down, great. Long time no see.
Do you think that was going to be my question? Do you think you're going to go down?
Playing like that?
Do you think you're going down?
Of course I do. The team's good enough not to go down. The manager isn't, the tactics aren't, the mentality isn't. So for me, like, it far outweighs the team. So yeah, absolutely. No, we're going down because if you look at the last 14 games, so we've had 9 losses. No, we've had 10 losses now. 10 losses, 3 draws and a win, I think. And Fulham have had 9 draws and like 4 losses. That was a stat on when it was on the telly. So that's not good enough. Like, they're gonna overtake us. Obviously, we're only 3 points above them now. So Brighton are 4 points above them. Brighton play better football than us. Burnley are 6 points above them. Burnley play better football than us at the moment. Well, I don't think Burnley play better football. They've just got more cohesive system, and the players do the job that the manager asks them to do. So yeah, I think it's game over now. If he's not gone tomorrow, when we've got like this next run of fixtures, so there's like we've got Wolves next, West Brom and Aston Villa. If that next run of fixtures we don't get any points from it, or even 1 point, like, that's not good enough, because Fulham, Sheffield United, and West Brom all play like each other in like the next couple of games. So we're just going to be even further dragged into it. And it's exactly what I've been saying is going to happen for months. I've said this for literally months. If we don't get rid of him soon, it's going to be exactly the same as McLaren. They sacked McLaren in March, brought in Rafa Benitez, and it wasn't enough.
Who would you hire then if you sacked Bruce? I'm just curious.
Eddie.
Realistically, Eddie Howe was my bet from the beginning. Like, literally, that was my bet from the beginning, because I think realistically he's an option. Rafa's not an option. He's not going to come back under Mike Ashley. The other options were Mark Hughes, who sat and slagged us off on Mac today, so I don't want him. He's just another Steve Bruce. Nigel Pearson's just another Steve Bruce. So yeah, it's embarrassing, to be honest. Now I'm embarrassed.
Eddie Howe needs to come in. He's the probably, out of all the managers that are available, would want to go to Newcastle. Looking at your squad, he's definitely a guy that could work with that. He's worked with Callum Wilson, he's worked with Ryan Fraser. He would probably get the best out of Jamal Lewis. Emil Run would be a good player for him. Heck,
Do you genuinely think someone can get the best out of Jamal Lewis? I don't understand how how Steve Bruce cannot see that he's not a flat left back. His defensive awareness is awful. It's horrible. How can you literally sit and put him there in the left back position? It's embarrassing. Like, how did you not know this? He's had 2 good games since the West Ham game, first game of the season. Jamal Lewis has had 2 good games. One of them was as a wing back.
But at Norwich,
like, why?
Norwich, you played in a back 4 sometimes, and you're still good.
Yeah, but in this system, it's not good enough, because he doesn't have enough cover if St. Maximin's playing on the left, because St. Maximin doesn't have defensive positioning at all.
It's not. I know, but it's not. This is. I can't blame Jamal Lewis for this. It's definitely.
Well, no, I'm not blaming him, but it's like, how can Steve Bruce or Graham Jones or whoever is sorting these tactics out now? Because I don't even know at this point. Friggin' Krusty the Clown sorting them out. Like, how is no one seeing this, but we all can? How is no one seeing that Carl Darlow should have been dropped 4 games ago?
Do you know what's amazing, right? I felt a bit down in the dumps after Man United performance today, right? We're second in the league. I'm just going to... When he listened to Kendall speak, like, Newcastle.
Yeah.
I feel great. We're going to go to calls now, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get you on. We've shared the link on the Discord server, so get yourselves across to that right now. Big shout out to our title sponsors, Manscaped. Still available is your 20% discount using our promo code TFT. You can get your weed whacker. This is for all their nose hairs and ear hole hairs. Do you know what I mean? Got to clean out them lug holes, keep them hair free. Who has hair in their ears? I don't know, like proper bad hair. Like, you can get that there. It's 20% off. I have opened this because I did use it just to see what it does. It's pretty good. Put it back in the box after using it. I'm not going to send it to anyone, but it works. Isn't that bad, boy? Ladies, calm down. Listen,
Steve Bruce needs it so he can get the hair out of his ears so he can actually listen to some normal football tactics.
Kendall, you really think you're going down?
Yeah, I do. Genuinely,
Kendall.
this is why I'm angry right now. Because I just
I don't think so.
Why don't you think, like, genuinely though, why don't you think we're going down though?
Let me explain. Because I feel like it's going to be that you're going to have Sheffield United, West Brom, and Fulham playing each other. They're going to take points off each other, probably draw some of those games. I don't see Fulham not dropping as many points as you guys are, even though you guys have a big run of games against top teams. I think Fulham are going to drop as much points as you, or maybe even more, and you still have more. You still have 3 points on them right now, and you play them and Sheffield United at the end of the season. So no matter what, even if you do drop a bunch of points from now until the last 2 games of the season, I feel like the bottom half of the table, it's just going to be whoever can grab 1-2 points here and there. You guys are going to have more quality than them.
No,
they can't score, bruv. They can't score, bruv. They could right now.
Wilson's out for another 6 weeks.
Fulham
So
are actually better
helpful.
than them.
Tell me why Joe Linton's there. You may as well play with 10 men if you've got Joe Linton on the pitch. God, it was actually embarrassing. Like, he was going off injured, and I was like, you know what I mean? I don't even care. I'm not wishing injury on him at all. But when he went off injured, I was just a bit like,
how long is Wilson out for? Is he out for the whole season?
Guys, we've got to go to some calls now. I'm really sorry. We've got to go to some calls. Make sure you're all smashing that like and share button. First on the channel tonight, we're getting Mark Edmund all the way from Australia. Hello, Eddie boy. What are you saying?
I'd just like to say to the Newcastle, g'day KJ, all those Newcastle fans, they're a very proud club. They've got great fans. They've got famous fans around the world. And the football they're playing under Steve Bruce, it is pretty dead. Like, they are, it's tired. I do think it's time to potentially move him on. When you look at teams like Fulham that are playing really attractive football, threatening football, they're not goal shy like Newcastle. You think, it's time for a change. Something needs to give. So I kind of really feel for Kendall. They're very pragmatic. Their players, the one tactic seems to be, let's work out some sort of set piece like they're a championship football team, and they go down under a stiff breeze and their players go down. Let's be honest. They go down very easy, trying to milk free kicks, and that is their one tactic. And I would be tired. I mean, that's a very tired. They're like the Burnley of the North, and Newcastle fans deserve much better than that. As far as Manchester United go, look, they played like a team that played on Thursday. They played like a team that's playing in the Europa League. They looked very flat, a bit leggy in the first half an hour. Ole adjusted in the second half, and they did what they needed to do. I felt pretty flat about it, but, you really cheered me up, Kendall, so thanks very much, because it could always be worse. We could be Arsenal,
thanks,
it could
Mark.
be.
This is true. Sorry, this is one of the funniest super chats I've had from Reese, who says, "This is beautiful, sob on the Tyne." If you don't know the song "Fog on the Tyne," then that'll be lost on you. But that's a brilliant joke. Do you all sing that in Newcastle? "Fog on the Tyne"? Is that like a song?
No.
Is that like a nursery rhyme at school and thing?
No. Everyone knows it, but and it's the classic one, like Gaz is in the video and he's doing "Fog on the Time," but it's not like that. It's not like
sing us a little line from it, please, Ken.
No, thanks, I'm good.
Come on.
I've never heard it, Kendall. Come on, treat me. I'm from Australia. Treat me.
Special section of Midnight Vibes tonight. Vice Captain Kendall will be singing for us.
Singing "Fog on the Time"? No, we will not. We'll be singing. We'll be singing "F off the time." That's what we'll be saying.
This was not run by me, Vice Captain. I'd have given it to Tan.
Oh, hey, listen. No. Listen. I know you're the owner. I know you're the owner of Vibes FC, but listen,
I've given anonymity is the word I would use. Listen, next on the show we're gonna have. I'm gonna go to. Actually, I was gonna put Fixer on, but all I can see is a door. I can't see nothing else. He just rusting through the door. Fixer, you there, brother? Fixer,
yeah. I'm here, bro. Can you hear me?
Yeah, it looks like you're at my front door again. What you saying?
Yo, man, I just wanted to say, man, well done to the last today. You know, we showed ourselves, man. I mean, when the lineup came up here, I was really mad because I saw like Daniel James. I was like, Daniel James, and then I saw Lindelof. I was like, fucking hell, we're gonna lose this match. And then when Newcastle came back, I was a bit scared, but you know, Daniel James showed us what it means to like he has passion, man. He has what Martial lacks at the moment. Like he was starved of football. That's what I was saying to you the last time. You got to starve this guy sometimes, you know. Ole has starved this guy of so much football that when he gets his chance, he takes it with both hands. He doesn't mess about. So I'm really glad about that. And I'm seeing a lot of people like, you know, criticizing the team. Me, I criticize the team when we lose. When we win, I'm not gonna do that because that just seems pointless. And I wanted to say to the young girl, Kendall, I don't know why you're so pissed off. You know, we're second in the league. What did you expect? We're going to beat Newcastle anytime. It is what it is, you know?
Oh, gosh.
It is what it is. I don't think you should be that upset, you know? I don't think you should be that upset with this game. I think you should just, you know...
She's not that upset. She thought Newcastle deserved something from the game, apparently.
No, they're not going to get anything from the game. Of course not. Like, you guys have dead players. Joe Linton, that guy is dead. Joe Linton, for God's sake. That guy is absolutely... appalling. Like he's shocking. Like the only guy you guys have that you can cling on to is Saint Maximum, and all he does is he's a good dribbler, but at the end of the day, that's not enough. You know, I just think, you know, you guys should just work on your, you know, on your techniques. And you know, Steve Bruce is, you know, he's a dead manager as well. But you know, what can I say? It is what it is.
Work on the techniques, but Steve Bruce is a dead manager.
No, he's a dead manager. He says it himself. He doesn't believe in tactics.
You know what? You remind me of, you remind me of a more coherent Have Hope. That's literally, I get Have Hope vibes. More coherent than that, brother. Listen, Fixer, thank you very much for coming on and having. Actually, Mark, thank you very much for coming and having your say. Appreciate that, bro. Thank you. iTest keeps saying. Oh, Kendall's gone. Bye, Kendall.
Oh, did I piss her off? I hope I didn't.
No. Our Wi-Fi is like this anyway. So
Wi-Fi is janky. Okay. She might be back. iTest keeps saying he wants to come on. If you want to come on, iTest, the link's on the Discord server. The link's already been shared in the chat. Next up on the show, we're gonna get Ladimus here. Ladimus
Prime.
Look at this. 3 Nigers on one show, bro. Look at this.
Ladimus, are you prime? Is Ladimus Niger as well?
Well, kind of. He's Irish, really.
Wow, nice one, my brother. Who else is Niger up there? Oh,
Not
yeah? Oh, this guy. NIG in the house, y'all.
Just tell about it. And also, we're going to get on the show. We're going to get Aaron on as well. Prime, what do you want to say?
Yeah, I think Newcastle played well. Newcastle fans and I get the hate Steve Bruce, but I'm going to get kicked off for saying this. I think they played well, and I mean, they gave it a go, but Man United are performing one of the best teams in the league this season for a reason. They're second. Maybe the title's a bit gone now, but they played a superior team and they got beaten. What do you expect? What do they expect Steve Bruce to actually do?
Play,
don't get angry.
Bro, it ain't about this is what you got to understand, Prime. It ain't about today. Newcastle losing to Man United hasn't been a shock to Newcastle fans for about 20 years. Like, it just hasn't been a shock for about 20 years. It's everything else surrounding it, which is the big problem. Aaron's with us now. Aaron, what did you make of the performance from Man United today?
Oh, mate, I'm dancing on the ceiling. Oh, what a feeling. Mate, that was... I think that was just a case of Newcastle were deflated, Man United, well, not creative. I think that the Rashford chance was a good solo opportunity. It was like, nah, no one's creating anything, so I'm going to take it myself. The James chance was just right place, right time. And Bruno was a good penalty. And I think the Newcastle goal was just a case of St. Maximin not getting marked. I mean, I get why people would think De Gea had a fault in it, because I think he could have palmed it over. But I don't get why some of the blame is 100% on De Gea for that goal on social media, because it's like the defense just keep getting away with, and people on the outfield keep getting like deflecting the blame away from them and getting on to De Gea sometimes. So, De Gea could have palmed it over, yes, but I feel like the defenders should have done better. And I think overall it was just a case of Bruce got outclassed and out-tacticked. And I think looking on the basis of it, and this is not in a jokey way, I think we're looking at a time where Derby in the second tier of English football before we play the St. James's Park next season.
There we go. Aaron, thank you very much for coming on, mate, and having your say. Really appreciate it, bro. Fixer as well. Thank you very much for coming on. We've got Kendall now back with us. Wi-Fi sorts out. Fixer, legend. Okay. Thanks for coming on, bro. But we've got a special treat now, ladies and gentlemen. A special treat now. We bring to you this man has arguably the greatest football IQ I've ever seen. Danny. Listen, he makes Danny look like guy's Einstein. Danny is like basically using the abacus 1, 2, 3. That's the football IQ equivalent.
Did you get Jose Mourinho on?
Let me present to you. He's back by popular demand. It is Eye Test. Eye Test is here. What are you saying?
Yes, I wanted to address the Martial thing. I heard you lot talking about it. Yeah. And it pisses me off when Oli Innes talk about this, because you know what? Oli was the one who put his trust in Martial. Oli was the one who gave Martial the number 9 shirt and sold Lukaku and put his trust in Ole Guinness on Martial. Yeah, he sold Lukaku, a guy who banged against AC Milan, got an assist, got a goal, destroyed AC Milan today. I think he's also top goal scorer in Serie A. Yeah, he told Lukaku, listen, Martial's going to be my striker. Yeah, you're gonna be on the right, and then Lukaku didn't want to play on the right, so Lukaku left. Yeah, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wanted Martial to be the number 9. He gave Martial the number 9 shirt. Yeah, and he put his trust in him. And then next January, he realized that Martial's not the guy. He's not the guy. Then he went to the board and he asked, listen, can I have Haaland? Is this guy crazy? You sold Lukaku and put your trust in Anthony Martial, and now you want a striker. You sold Romelu Lukaku, yeah, who banged in a Prem and now is banging in La Liga. I mean in Serie A, and now you want another striker because you made a mistake. Yeah, and anyway, Haaland didn't even want to play for.
Stop for a sec. I test. When Pep Guardiola bought the wrong goalkeeper, what did he go and do?
Yeah, they backed him and they got another keeper. But listen, they did back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 2 seconds.
1 second. Well, let's go to Danny first. Danny, go on. I know what Danny's going to say.
So they replaced the goalkeeper, right, with a player from outside the football club. Who did
and you know what? They backed Ole. They wanted to get Haaland, but you know what? Haaland didn't want to play for Ole. Haaland didn't want to play for Ole.
We replaced Lukaku with a squad player under Mourinho. It's not like we bought Martial to replace Lukaku. He was already in the damn squad.
Yeah,
he was already in the squad. Terry, I want to ask Eye another question. Sorry, Terry.
Okay, go on.
Why is it acceptable to why are you criticizing the Manchester United manager and not asking the board, why haven't you bought a replacement for Lukaku? Why are you not asking that?
Ole wanted Martial to be the main striker. He gave him the number 9 shirt. He said, you're going to play number 9. And he told Lukaku, you're going to play right winger. Lukaku would have stayed. Let me talk. Lukaku said he would have stayed if he was allowed to play striker. He even said in an interview, yeah, the way Ole plays, he feels like he could fit into that system. Yeah, he could play striker. He said it. You could watch it. There's proof. But Ole wanted him to play right winger, and he was like, nah, I don't want to play right winger. Yeah. So he left. Because Ole wanted Martial to be the main striker. And now you want another. Now you want to buy a striker to replace Martial to play up front. Ole's.
Wait, say that's true. No, wait. Stop. KJ, of course, fine. It's fine. It's not true, but let's pretend it is. What's wrong with the Manchester United manager wanting a better striker for Manchester United Football Club? Please tell me.
Then Martial, because he already had a world-class striker in Lukaku. He already did.
Wait,
But
I
he
test.
forced him out
I
by
test.
telling him you're gonna play right winger. I don't
I
think you
test.
get it. He forced
I test.
Lukaku out. Yes,
I
bro.
test.
No, sorry, Prime, one sec. So I test. Listen. So even in your cuckoo land, let's say you're right, and Ollie's made a mistake. Your logic is let's not let the manager rectify his mistake. Let's just keep failing. Hello, beautiful little girl. Like it's your logic is stupid. So you don't want Ollie to be allowed to rectify his mistake in your world. Equally, I've seen a very recent interview with Lukaku where he spoke about what a wonderful guy Ollie was and how Ollie helped him get out of the club because he informed Ollie that he just did not want to stay at Man United. Too much damage had been done prior to Ollie arriving at the club with the fan base abusing him like crazy. Problems under Jose Mourinho as an example. And he told Ollie that I don't want to stay anymore. And from that point, Ollie helped him move on. This was a joint decision by player and club. The player just did not want to remain at Manchester United. There was no animosity. There's no way in a million years Ollie sat down and said, listen, I know people like to act like Ollie hasn't got no tactical nous, right? But there's no way Ollie looked at him and went, who's been playing you as striker for these last 25 years? You're a winger, bruv. No way on God's green earth is what you're saying true. And even I don't need to look it up.
He said in an interview he wanted to stay. He feels the way Ollie plays.
Listen, brother. I watched an interview only a year or so ago that literally spoke about the wonderful admiration that Lukaku had. It was during lockdown he put this interview out. You're lying. Even if you are telling the truth, even if we pretend for one moment that your logic or your story is true, you not wanting Ollie to be able to rectify his mistake is ridiculous.
Actually, the board did back Ollie. They went for Haaland, but Haaland rejected Ollie. Haaland was like, listen,
again, it's another lie, Itis. It's another lie.
It's not a lie. Shall I tell you why? Because it's not directly. It's not directly. But
Itis. Okay. That isn't true. It's very well documented why Manchester United didn't get Haaland.
Yes, and I was about to address that.
What you're about to address, but you said he rejected Ollie. He didn't.
No, because let me explain. You have to let me explain. You have to let me explain. No, you have to let me explain because it is not directly rejecting. It's not directly rejecting, but you see when he put. Wait, let me tell you because when he put that release clause in, it shows it indirectly shows that he doesn't believe in Ollie long term. He wanted to come. Because he knew Ollie wasn't really the guy.
That's your sorry, Itis. That's your
an escape.
Ollie. Sorry, Itis. That's your twisted interpretation of what a buyout clause means. He wanted the buyout clause in there, and it's done for one reason and one reason only. It's so that the agent and the player has the bargaining power to renew contracts or be sold on within a 2-year period. With the level that we all knew and anticipated Haaland was going to get to, if he had a buyout clause in 12 months, say he was scoring all the goals for United that he's doing at Dortmund, we all know what his valuation would be. Man United would risk losing him at 1/3 below his valuation. So what they would do is sit down in a room and say, you either pay us every single penny we want in terms of new signing on fees, new wages. Otherwise, we leave for 40-odd million pounds or not. Man United, I've criticized so many pieces of business we've done in the last 8-9 years, but that wasn't a bad piece of business. We did not want to put ourselves into a vulnerable position.
Also,
the agent and the striker were going to control the destiny. That isn't rejecting Ollie. That's the club and the agent and player not coming to a financial agreement. You're twisting.
Also, wait, Terry. Also, you're missing out one thing. You're missing out one thing as well. Haaland's plan as a player with his dad, as mapped out his career, was always to go to the Bundesliga to develop and then insert the release clause. So when it comes time to move to a bigger club, a better club, that it was there. Haaland did not reject Ollie because it was Ollie and had a release clause in there because it was Ollie and he wasn't too sure. He had a release clause in there because he wanted to move on and develop from the Bundesliga. He didn't
wanted
choose
a
Ole
release clause
and Manchester
because he wanted Ole
United
as a stepping
because
stone.
they was
He
not.
wanted Ole
They
as a
did not
stepping
want to go to Manchester United too early, and that's why they chose Dortmund, because Dortmund and the Bundesliga are a great place for players to develop their game and grow as players. That is why he did not come to Manchester United in the first place. None of this nonsense about he didn't believe in Ole and he wanted a release clause and he wanted all of this nonsense. He delivered. He went there because he wanted to develop, and that's why he didn't pick Man United.
And every club that came in for him across multiple leagues, they wanted the buyout clause at every single club. That's why all the top clubs that don't ever want to sell their youngsters who are delivering, so Bayern Munich's, Real Madrid's, Barcelona's, Man United's, that's why none of them took the inquiries further, because none of them were prepared to have that kind of clause. But the father wanted it. The father wanted it. So your misinterpretation or your twisting of the truth to attack Ole is testament to insanity, I test. Aside from that, we know I gather you're saying that Anthony Martial isn't good enough.
Definitely not.
So what? So what should we do as a club then? Should we keep him? And should we
Okay.
keep him because Ole is deserving of a
Let me tell
striker?
you. So I was watching La Liga today. I can't remember the striker's
shut
name, but he
up.
scored a hat trick. I watched the striker score a hat trick today in La Liga. I can't remember who it was, but he looked really good. He plays for our Sociedad. He scored a hat trick today. And I was like, really good.
So this is the same
today.
guy. So this is the same guy again. So do you think Man United's centre backs are like world class?
Bro, he has 12 goals in La Liga, no penalties. The highest goal scoring player, Swedish player in La Liga history.
I watched him play. I watched him play against Man United a few days ago. Barring when Eric Bailly made a couple of very early mistakes, the guy didn't have a sniff. He didn't look dangerous. He didn't look potent. That if you think Isak could improve Manchester United, you are living in. You're
judging him off one game. Look, you like stats. I dare you.
No, I'm judging him.
We can't even get Isak. We're not allowed to get Isak by ITIS's logic because Ole sold Lukaku. We should suffer with Martial being on form. We don't deserve Isak apparently.
Ole doesn't. Ole doesn't.
Can I go?
I'd say investment for the new manager.
Go on, Prime.
I test. Are you not the same guy who, a few years ago, was backing the fact that Lukaku should leave? He's not good enough, and Martial should be the guy.
No, yes. I've never been a Martial fan. What are you talking about?
No, are you sure?
I've never.
Are you sure?
That's
I can't trust what you say, bro. Because you.
Are you sure? Okay, cool. Also, this is that guy that you rate so highly. He's not even better than Tammy Abraham. So
he has more goals than all your attackers.
Do you know what's
mad?
Through this with eye test before in the group chat with him lying about what he said and what he has.
No. That's different guy. That's a different
dude. That's a different dude.
That's a guy that's no longer been on there.
Do you know what's mad about it all, though? Right? What's mad about it all in terms of what you're saying is we know we need a better striker, but you just said something there, I test, which is out of the Ole Outters playbook, the hoax Reds, as I like to call them. We should just save the investment for the new manager, and that is exactly where Manchester United have continually been going wrong over the course of the past 8-9 years. We buy for managers and not for the football club. We should be looking at Haaland for Man United. We should be looking at a system, a style, a type of player, both ability, mentality, determination, longevity, etc., that fit the Man United ethos and philosophy, that set out in stone, not literal stone, in case anyone takes that seriously, right? Set out in stone our mantra of how we are going to play. Like every other well-run sports institute and every other business, every other college, every other university in the world, you have to apply, don't you? You have to apply. They assess you as a person academically or skill-wise within your job. If Man United were doing that properly, it wouldn't matter how many players you buy or don't buy for Ole. It's a case of we're going to buy another strike. We're going to get Haaland now, regardless whether Ole's going to stay on or not, because we want to secure the best or second best, if you want to say Mbappe's the best, up-and-coming striker in world football. But Man United don't behave like that. We literally fluctuate from manager to manager, letting them make decisions. So what you end up with every 2.5 years are these hybrid squads that are made up of multiple players that belong to various systems and styles. That mismatch is a concoction and a cocktail for disaster. And it's fans like you that push that narrative that I truly believe feeds into this dressing room. I do believe that we were run so badly by a board. They read social media, they read what the forums are saying, they listen to what the media says, and they make decisions based off of it. It's absolutely atrocious. And you don't need to be a football person to understand this. You just need to have some comprehension of running a successful organization, school, even running a successful family. Even whatever it is in life to run successful, there needs to be structure to it. And there's none to Man United. And I respect you as a person, I do. But you make up so many lies and you flip-flop without addressing your mistakes every single week. It's 2 weeks ago, you're on here apologizing and you said Ollie's the man and Rashford's amazing. Now you're sitting here saying don't buy Ollie any more players because Martial's having some bad form. You're a weirdo, bro.
Yeah. That was you.
My voice was hacked. My voice was hacked.
Yeah, that's a lie. Itest, listen. You said on stream before, and I quote, I support Manchester United. I don't support no players. I don't support no manager. I support Manchester United. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so in this scenario, Paul Pogba leaves Manchester United. Mm-hmm. Do you replace Paul Pogba with a player of quality or two players with quality to help Manchester United?
Yes.
So why is it that if Ollie wants a new striker to help Manchester United, you are saying no to that? If it's better for Manchester United to get a better striker.
I'm saying, showing you the mistake he made. I'm not saying no.
Managers make mistakes
because he let Lukaku go, and now he wants and he put his trust in Martial, and now he wants a striker. You had a striker right there.
All managers make mistakes. Or Pep Guardiola brought in Bravo. He shunned Hart. He brought in Bravo. Bravo did not work out. 1 season later, he got Edison. He has bought how many different fullbacks? Man had Danilo, swapped him for Cancelo. Man's bought in Benjamin Mendy. He plays Zinchenko over him. He had Nolito, bought him out. Klopp, he's bought how many players? And they haven't worked out. And they've brought in players that can fit the system. They've brought in players that can make their team better. All managers make mistakes. So why is it that Ollie can't rectify his mistakes? Because if he didn't, you'd call him a poor manager for not even realizing he made a mistake and trying to rectify it. Now that he is trying to rectify his mistakes, you call him a bad manager for making a mistake in the
Bruno
first place.
is the only signing he's made that has succeeded. Bruno's the only signing where you could say 100% he's a success. All the others, they're like... Pep has successes. Pep has more of a success rate when it comes to transfers. Klopp has way higher success rate.
I disagree with you. I think when you go through it, Cavani so far has been a success. AWB has been a success.
It's too early to say Cavani. Is because he's only had like 5 good games.
Question, my bro. So since Alex Ferguson retired, what's the common denominator in regards to Manchester United transfers? Which Manchester United manager in the last 8 years has had good success in the market?
Good. Okay. I don't think anyone has.
So different managers, no success. Who's the common denominator?
The board. But
thank you. That's it.
No. And the managers are also the issue because all the managers made poor decisions when it came to transfers.
We're going to do some more calls now. We're going to keep you on if you want. We've got AJ Wilson on the line. AJ, what do you want to say, bro?
Listen, it's my bedtime soon and I need to go.
Yeah, we can tell because your
kids need to go to bed. You need to go to bed. Take care, mate. AJ, what do you want to say?
I just want to talk about the agenda about all these players we have, like but we're talking about De Gea, mate. There's nothing wrong with him. I know.
Sorry, AJ. Sorry, your signal's really bad. It keeps cutting in and out.
All right, is that good?
Yeah.
That's better.
Well, bro, this agenda about De Gea, mate, I can't stand it anymore. Things that are being talked about, like Paul Scholes going on after the show saying it's De Gea's fault. When it's these defenders, mate, every single week they keep bringing us down. I can't stand it, bro. It's just every single time, and it's just people don't understand. Like, I see it every single time. Like Maguire, Lindelof, just just terrible, absolutely crap every single week. We're bringing on Bailly or Twansebi. I don't understand what's wrong with them. They can't be doing any worse. I don't understand this. And that guy talking about Lukaku. Lukaku's dead, mate, in the Prem.
Sorry, we're getting really bad connection issues. I think it might be the earbuds as well, mate. I'm sorry. Listen, I hear what you're saying. For me, it's a simple one. When I look at the goal we conceded today, I saw a goalkeeping error, I saw a Maguire error, and I saw a team error of everybody standing about. I'm not one of these people that likes to solely blame people. It's very rarely is a goal down to one. I remember the goal we conceded against Leicester. Bruno gave it away. Scott McTominay could have closed down better. De Gea should have done better with the spot kick. With the shot, sorry. What normally happens is people will focus on the player of which they dislike the most, who they criticize, when actually it's a more of an everybody thing. It really, really is. AJ, thank you very much for coming on. I'd like to speak to you more. The connection ain't so great. And we are coming to the end of the show now. Everybody that's tuned in, a massive thank you to each and every one of you. I'm exhausted. It's my 5th stream of the day. So a massive thank you to all of you that have tuned in. KJ's back at midnight with Midnight Vibes. So if you're watching now, make sure you're back tuning in at midnight. A big shout out and thank you to Bean Player for signing up as a first team member of the football Terrace. It really means a great deal to us here. It does. Smash that like and share button, like I say. Until next time, everybody, look after yourselves. Take care. Good.